Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Lamb. Here's a preview of some of today's top stories. A deadly mid-air collision between two helicopters took the lives of 3 firemen. The firefighters were responding to a blaze in California. A court decides that a college's policy on flyers hurt a student group. We'll have more about how the school was deemed in violation of free speech. The cage fight between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg is official. The duel will be live streamed on X, formerly known as Twitter. San Jose city workers voted overwhelmingly to authorize a strike on Monday. 2 unions that represent nearly 4,500 workers will picket for 3 days for higher wages. It would be the largest in San Jose's history in decades. And city workers in Los Angeles also plan to go on strike tomorrow. We'll keep you updated as the stories develop. 3 firefighters are dead after mid-air collision between 2 helicopters. Now investigators are looking into the cause. NTD's Christina Corona has more on the story.
On Sunday, 3 people were killed after 2 firefighting helicopters collided in Southern California while fighting a blaze in Riverside County around 6:30 p.m. During a news conference Monday, officials said a total of 6 aircrafts were in the air responding to the fire in Cabazon.
CAL FIRE and Riverside County Fire Department resources were dispatched to a reported structure fire near the intersection of Broadway Street and Esperanza Avenue in the community of Cabazon. Shortly after the arrival of the first engine company, it was reported that the fire had extended into the vegetation and a full wildland fire dispatch was initiated, which included fixed-wing and rotary-wing aircraft. While engaged in the firefight, 2 helicopters collided. The first helicopter was able to land safely nearby. Unfortunately, the second helicopter crashed, and tragically, all 3 members perished, which included 1 CAL FIRE division chief, 1 CAL FIRE fire captain, and 1 contract pilot.
Officials said the second helicopter, which was used for observation, crashed into a hillside after the impact that sparked another 4-acre fire. That second fire was eventually extinguished. According to ABC7, authorities confirmed CAL FIRE Division Chief Joff Bischoff, CAL FIRE Captain Tim Rodriguez, and Tony Sosa, a contracted pilot, were killed in the crash.
Although this was a tragic event, we are also thankful today that it wasn't worse. The individuals in the first helicopter were able to land safely without incident, and no one else was hurt. We think about this and how it affects the families. We have lost 3 great individuals.
The National Transportation Safety Board will investigate the cause of the crash between the Bell 407 helicopter and the Sikorsky S-64E helicopter. Christina Corona, NTD News, California.
A win for conservative students in California. A court says a college did discriminate against the group's posters and flyers. The Ninth Circuit also rejected the college's appeal. I spoke with the student's lawyer for more insight.
In a case about free speech and censorship in college, the Ninth Circuit Court denied a California community college's appeal on August 4th. Clovis Community College, located in Fresno, California, previously took down students' anti-communist flyers, so the students sued the school in 2022.
I was really excited that the Ninth Circuit ruled in our favor. It really struck down the arguments that the Clovis Community College made to defend its flyer policy. They basically said we can take down whatever speech we want if it's offensive, if it's inappropriate.
Daniel Ortner's team represents Alejandro Flores, who was a student at Clovis Community College and part of the Young Americans for Freedom Club. In November 2021, Flores and other student members obtained approval to post anti-communist flyers from their conservative student organization to bulletin boards inside campus buildings. Clovis policy allowed the school to take down anything that was deemed inappropriate or offensive. when some students complained about the group's flyers, saying it made them uncomfortable. The school took action to remove the flyers.
The problem is that the First Amendment protects offensive, inappropriate speech. Speech that some deem inappropriate. And it's really subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder what's inappropriate or not. And the government bureaucrats at Clovis can't step in and decide, we want to shut this down, we don't like this speech. They have to allow everyone's speech under the First Amendment. And so they can't pick winners and losers about what speech is allowed or not allowed. And that's what we were able to get the Ninth Circuit to once again reaffirm the importance of those First Amendment rights.
At one point, the Clovis president told staff to take down the flyers, saying, quote, "If you need a reason, you can let them know that we agreed they aren't club announcements."
So now we go back down to the trial court, and we're going to keep fighting to hold these administrators accountable for what they've done. They blatantly violated student speech rights, and they shouldn't be able to get away with that.
Prosecutors want to make sure the school's policy is permanently removed and to seek financial damages for the students. NTD reached out to Clovis Community College for comment. In Santa Clara, California, David Lamb, NTD News.
Another bus filled with asylum seekers arrived in Los Angeles. It's part of the Texas governor's efforts to send illegal immigrants to sanctuary cities that will provide resources and shelter. NTD's Christina Corona has more.
On Friday afternoon, another bus carrying 49 migrants arrived at Union Station in downtown Los Angeles from Texas. The Coalition for the Human Rights of Immigrants said in a statement the bus, believed to be funded by the state of Texas, left Brownsville at 11 a.m. Central Time Thursday and arrived at Union Station in Los Angeles on Friday at 12:15 p.m. Pacific Time. According to NBC Los Angeles, the migrants are from Brazil, Cameroon, China, Colombia, El Salvador, Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, Nicaragua, Mexico, and Venezuela. In total, there are 32 adults and 17 children between the ages of 4 months and 16 years. Upon reaching Union Station, migrants were promptly taken to the nearby St. Anthony's Croatian Church, the designated receiving center. There, volunteers and staff offered critical humanitarian aid, including food, water, clothing, hygiene kits, diapers, toys, health assessments, and legal immigration orientations. Zach Cedes, the deputy mayor of communications and spokesperson for Mayor Karen Bass, said, "The city has continued to work with city departments, the county, and a coalition of nonprofit organizations, in addition to our faith partners, to execute a plan set in place earlier this year. As we have before, when we become aware of the bus yesterday, we activated our plan." A total of 283 asylum seekers have arrived to the city of Los Angeles to date. Christina Corona, NTD News, Los Angeles.
The physical cage fight between two social media giants is on. Elon Musk confirmed the duel, saying it will live stream on X, formerly known as Twitter.
In a social media post on Sunday, Elon Musk said his proposed cage fight with Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg would be live streamed on X, formerly known as Twitter. The social media moguls have been egging each other into a mixed martial arts cage match in Las Vegas since June. When a user on X asked Musk the point of the fight, Musk responded by saying it's a civilized form of war. Men love war. The brouhaha began when Musk said in a June 20th post that he was up for a cage match with Zuckerberg, who is trained in jiu-jitsu. A day later, 39-year-old Zuckerberg, who has posted pictures of matches he has won on his company's Instagram platform, asked 51-year-old Musk to send location for the proposed throwdown, to which Musk replied, "Vegas Octagon," referring to an event center where mixed martial arts championship bouts are held. Musk then said he would start training if the cage fight took shape. According to Musk, all proceeds will go to charity for veterans.
Senator Dianne Feinstein transferred her power of attorney to her daughter. This comes amid the family's financial struggle and the 90-year-old's ailing health.
Senator Dianne Feinstein has ceded her power of attorney to her 66-year-old daughter, Catherine Feinstein. That means Catherine can now act on behalf of Senator Feinstein on all legal or financial matters. This announcement comes amidst the family's finance fight. Catherine has filed 2 lawsuits on behalf of her mother to access the senator's late husband, Richard Blum's estate. According to the lawsuit, Feinstein is trying to sell the house to fund her ongoing medical treatments. The second lawsuit alleges that 2 other trustees in Blum's estate, a longtime lawyer and a business partner, withheld Blum's life insurance proceeds from Feinstein. But their attorney says the pair never withheld those funds. Since her absence earlier this year due to health complications, Feinstein's ability to remain in office has been increasingly doubted. Last week, the 90-year-old was also caught apparently confused during a roll call vote. She read her remarks instead of saying "I." A staffer had to prompt her.
Another winter of potential record-setting rain and snow. That's what California officials are preparing for as they scramble to expedite levee repairs.
To prepare for the next rainy season, Governor Gavin Newsom signed an order on Friday to expedite levee repairs and debris removal. This is to mitigate the risk of additional flooding and allow for continued recovery efforts. The governor's office noted that damaged levees provide weaker protection from high water levels, while debris and vegetation in river channels can block water from flowing. To accelerate these repairs and removals, the order suspended certain laws and regulations that require agencies to comply with specific environmental and resource protection requirements. Now, public agencies will be able to streamline their emergency repair work, particularly in the San Joaquin River, Tulare Lake Basin, Salinas River, and Pajaro River regions.
We will now take a short break, everyone, but here's what we have for you when we come right back. Surf's up in California. Dogs of all breeds and their owners competed in the annual World Dog Surfing Championships to be crowned the best surfing duo. California may soon require a driver's license for electric bikes. Its purpose is to make it more safer when sharing the road. A mother's love knows no bounds. One mom helped her daughter create her timeless dream wedding dress for her big day. These stories and much more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today, everybody. I'm your host, David Lamb. Surfing dogs were the spotlight on Saturday at Linda Lamar Beach in Pacifica for the annual World Dog Surfing Championships. The large turnout of fans and spectators were treated to top talent from 4 different weight classes. Here's NTD's Sean Morgan with more.
We are here at the 2023 World Dog Surfing Championships. This is the 5th time this event has taken place. Let's check out some of the competition. The dogs competed in 4 weight classes, from small to extra large, as well as a human-dog tandem and a dog-dog tandem category. This Saturday, over 1,000 people came to Pacifica to witness this event.
There's one dog that has a mohawk, and it matches their owner, and boy, when they get tandem on that surfboard, they're unstoppable.
Fan favorite Kentucky Gallahue and his dog Derby are back again competing this year.
Derby and I have been surfing for 7 years. He's 11 years old. We moved to San Diego 7 years ago. Never thought this is something we would be doing. I wanted to learn how to surf. He kept following me out there, and so I put him on a board. Found out there were competitions and started entering them.
He also wrote a children's book called The Adventures of Derby, California.
It's about how Derby and I moved to California and started surfing in dog surfing competitions.
Another fan favorite is Dan Nicolaiko with his dog Sherry as they compete this year for their final time.
Sherry is partaking, I think, for the 5th time. She won in 2019. We're hoping to win one more time because she's in the midst of a retirement tour. We've been surfing since 2013. Seeing people get excited, seeing our dogs do this, silly thing is, it means a lot, People walking across the beach going, oh, I've followed Cherie for, so many years, and I'm so happy I get to see her surf. It's very, very cool.
Sherry came first place in the medium dog category. Kentucky and Derby earned second place in the human-dog tandem category. In Pacifica, California, Sean Morgan, NTD News.
Electric vehicles are booming in California, and Tesla is reaping the benefits. Now, people in the state are buying more Teslas than Toyotas.
Consumers in California are now buying more Teslas than they are Toyotas. That's according to the California New Car Dealers Association. The electric car manufacturer has sold over 69,000 units in California, compared to Toyota's 67,000 units during the second quarter of this year. But on a worldwide scale, Toyota is still the reigning automobile heavyweight. The company sold 10.5 million vehicles in 2022, making them the first in automobile sales for the third year in a row. Tesla's dominance in the EV sector has allowed zero-emission vehicles to reach a record 21% market share. Much of the reason for Tesla's rise in California can be attributed to Governor Gavin Newsom's aggressive climate-related policies. The state was the first in the nation to declare that gas-powered vehicles will be phased out by 2035. According to a statement by the governor, the mandate would achieve more than a 35% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions and an 80% improvement in oxides of nitrogen emissions from cars statewide. But the governor has received pushback from the trucking and locomotive industries, as well as consumers who have called his policies difficult to achieve.
Looking to ride an electric bike in California? Well, cyclists without an active driver's license could soon be required to get a license specifically for e-bikes.
California lawmakers are proposing a new bill that would require a license to ride e-bikes. The bill's author, Assemblywoman Tasha Borner, says the legislation also seeks to ban those under 12 years of age from riding e-bikes. Existing California law prohibits children under the age of 16 from riding Class 3 e-bikes, which can travel up to 28 miles per hour. To obtain a license, riders would need to go through a training program that the bill would also create. Only those without a driver's license would need to attend the training. Borner said the bill aims to prevent injuries among youth. She said in a press release, "As a mother and a legislator, I believe that we must act to prevent our youth from injuries and educate parents on the promise and responsibility of e-bikes." AB 530 is another step to increase their safety while sharing the road. Meanwhile, on the local level, some cities in Orange County already have or are looking into passing their own ordinances to regulate e-bikes.
California tends to lead the country in many ways, including travel costs. People up and down the state say they're being pinched by high prices for plane tickets in the Golden State.
Across California, plane tickets are up 25% compared to the same time last year. That's according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is worsened by a 40% spike in airline prices nationwide, as reported in a study by travel app Hopper. A flight from Orange County to Las Vegas round trip could cost only $38, and a round trip flight to New York City is just $222. By contrast, in-state destinations are significantly more expensive. Round-trip flights from Los Angeles to Sacramento are priced from $320 to $725. Historically, round-trip flights were offered as low as $77 between Los Angeles and Sacramento. This was as recently as 2018. Economists say supply and demand could be to blame for the spike in prices. They suggest that limited availability due to an increase in travelers is keeping prices high. Experts point to the cost of labor and jet fuel, in addition to California's taxes and fuel mandates, all of which could increase interstate travel costs.
Summer is famous for its meteor showers, and what many consider the best meteor shower of the year will soon peak this month. Let's take a look.
The Perseids is an annual meteor shower known for being swift and bright while leaving long streaks of light in the sky. This year, they became active on July 14th and will continue until September 1st. Peak activity is predicted for August 13th, close to 1 a.m. Pacific time. And the good news is you can view this natural phenomenon with just your eyes. No special equipment is needed. But it's essential to be in an area away from light pollution. So for Californians, some of the best spots include the Santa Monica Mountains, the Los Angeles National Forest, and the Joshua Tree National Park. Death Valley National Park is another great place, but visitors should be cautious of the heat. The Perseids increase gradually leading up to their peak before vanishing rapidly. Their activity also tends to intensify as late night shifts into dawn. The meteor shower is named after and seems to radiate from the constellation Perseus, but there's no other connection between the meteors and those stars. The meteors are actually leftover debris from passing comets.
A loving mom and dressmaker helped realize her daughter's dream wedding dress. The result is a timeless, classic gown that wowed guests and groom alike. Here's the story.
Mom of two and dressmaker Louise Wardlaw was born in England and moved to California at the age of 30. Here she ran a dressmaking company before moving again to Tennessee. Her youngest daughter, Arabella Fumia, told the Epoch Times, quote, "Growing up, I think it was one of those things I almost took for granted. She would make our prom dresses, our friends' prom dresses, our debutantes' dresses. Then later in life, we started having friends getting married, so she would make guest dresses. So when it came time for Miss Fumia to plan her wedding, Mom was the obvious choice as a dressmaker. For this huge task, Miss Wardlaw turned a room at her house in Tennessee into the perfect sewing room and sewed for up to 6 hours a day by herself. The mom-daughter duo settled on an elegant A-line dress. To enhance the look, Miss Wardlaw created a long overskirt that was hooked on the dress at the waistline. And for the veil, she combined leftover samples of lace fabric. Miss Wardlaw also made her daughter's rehearsal dinner dress, dresses for the flower girl, the ring bearer, herself, and the 10 bridesmaids. Miss Wardlaw said, "I really enjoyed the weird therapy of being in my sewing room, listening to my podcasts and just carrying on. It was a process, but it was a really fun process." On the day of the wedding, the dress was completed with a beautiful brooch that every woman in her family got married with. The bride said, "A lot of people said it was timeless and that all of us were really amazed by the dress." Mr. and Mrs. Fumia tied the knot in front of 250 guests in Laguna Beach, California on June 3rd.
All right, everyone, that's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like for you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts at ntd.com/California-today. You'll find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Ganjing World, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. If you'd like to share a news tip or let us know how we're doing, we'd love to hear from you. I'm David Lam. Have a wonderful evening.